what's going on? I am Robert. This is Guitar Journeys. Uh-oh. I dropped my remote control. Oh no. Alright guys. Hey, you guys check out my shirt. That's cool. I'm a cool dude. It's a cool shirt. You like my hairdo? I can hook you up, man. All you gotta do is just get a hold of me. And I'll give you a free haircut. Anybody. Unless you haven't washed your hair in a couple years, then I don't want no part of it. You have to go wash your hair somewhere. I got a problem with my lip. If anybody gets this problem, there's a name for it, which I can't pronounce. If I was reading it, I could pronounce it, but just off the top of my head, I can't think of what they call it. But it kind of goes along with eczema, and what it does is it just gets like a chapped lip, and then it cracks. So I got to put medicine on it all the time, and so okay, guys. People have been coming on here acting stupid with me, asking me to play this and that. I don't even have a guitar right now. Okay, so anybody asks me to play anything or anybody that acts stupid with me, I'm just gonna ignore you. All right? So that's that. I'm gonna tell you that right up front. I'm sick and tired of people asking me to play crap and treating me like crap. Okay? If you don't want to treat me nice and you don't want to act like a decent human being and act like you got some common sense and act like you got a brain, go find something else to do. Hey, see? This guy, he knows how to act right. What's going on, buddy? Have you been working on that guitar? You been doing some practice? Man, I've been practicing pretty good. I got 3 shows to put on in July. So I had to come up with about 20. Well, I usually do about 20 to 25 songs per show. So I got like around 20 new songs that I started on yesterday. God, Frankie, what are you doing, dude? Blowing boogers everywhere. Anyways, yeah, I got 20 new songs. All right, cool, man. You're practicing on those bar chords? They're killer when you first start, but they get really easy after you've played them for a while. But yeah, your bar chords, man, that's kind of where it's at right there. So anyways, yeah, I've been practicing. So like the songs that I play at the nursing homes. So this was my plan when I started playing shows at the nursing home. This was my plan. I was just gonna pick easy songs and just basically play like chords, you know, the rhythm, and then the harder songs I was gonna learn or practice like in my music room, not making videos, but you know, mainly with my Stratocaster and you know, my pedal board, my Stratocaster, my big amplifier, which is a Fender Deluxe. I believe it's 100 watt, but I could be wrong about that. I believe it does say 100 watt on it. I know it's a pretty good size amp, and it's really loud. It's too loud for me, man. If I crank it up pretty loud and I play like that for a little while, it gives me a headache. So it's pretty loud. But anyways, that was the plan. So the song that I practice with my you have a Fender? That's cool, man. That'll work. You know, let me finish saying this, and then we'll talk about different guitars for a minute. So Yeah, eventually, when I get good enough, because playing with an amplifier, so I have a pretty good size stereo, puts out some pretty good volume. And what I do is I play the music. I use the Moises app. I cut out the guitar part, and then I play along with the music, kind of like I do, well, just like I do with when I'm using my speaker, my JBL party speaker. Um, but it's different because with the party speaker, all of the music's coming out of that speaker, right? The music that I'm playing, you know, on my iPad, that music comes out of the speaker. The stuff that I'm playing on my guitar, it comes out of the same speaker. So it's different. It's easy to make a mistake. Well, let me say it different. When you make a mistake, it's easy to get along with because you can't really notice it. The music from your iPad kind of covers up your mistakes because that music just keeps playing. But it's totally like playing with the band. You know, if you're playing with a band, you got all these other band members that are jamming, and you're just jamming along with them. So what I do is just like playing in a band. I mean, I take and I cut out almost all of the guitar part. I leave enough guitar parts so I can hear what they're doing, so that I can try to harmonize with what the other guitar players are doing. Okay, so let's go back to, yeah, you got it, buddy, you got it. Even when you're playing with the band. I've never played with the band, okay? I've never played with an actual band. One of these days I will. I'm actually, I just don't have the people around me right now that are good enough or that I really am interested in spending time with. You know, that's the honest truth. I don't know anybody in the town that I live in that I'd like to go spend some time with. Okay. Not that I'm hard to get along with or anything, but I don't want to hang out with somebody that doesn't know what they're doing and doesn't know anything about music. And that's kind of that. But one of these days, if I get around the right people that can play, that know about music and can sing, I would consider playing along or playing in their band. But I would not ever play in a band that's going to make me look bad. I don't need no help making me look bad, man. I do that okay on my own. Okay, so we're going to talk about, like you said, you love the your Fender. Is that a Stratocaster? Because I know the Squier, I'm pretty sure they do make Telecasters and Stratocasters, but I don't know that for a fact. But I was thinking about that today. Okay, I was playing my Stratocaster, and I'm really working on this soloing stuff, which is really a trip, man. It's a whole nother world, you know, trying to solo. And you gotta, you know, you gotta play in that key to make it sound good. And some songs, if it's in a minor or a major, you definitely want to play. Yeah. But you don't have a Strat though? Oh, you do have a Strat. Okay. Okay. So, I have a Stratocaster. Okay. And, if I had a choice to get another guitar right now, it would be another Stratocaster. I know that sounds goofy, man, right? But that's how I feel, because right now, I know that Stratocaster real good. I know what all the knobs do. I know how to adjust the, I mean, I've had it all the way apart 2 or 3 times. I've changed parts in it. I have adjusted everything to my liking. And I know how to adjust everything. I know how everything goes together. I know what's in there. And I would rather just stick with what I know. I don't really know how to describe it the right way, but let's say like this. If I was to get a guitar like a Gibson Les Paul, I'd have to learn that Les Paul. I'd have to learn how the knobs work. I'd have to learn what the switches do. I'd have to learn how to play with a humbucker instead of a single coil. So I'm just thinking like a lot of other guys, I mean, check out Eric Clapton. You don't hardly ever see Eric Clapton playing anything other than a Stratocaster. He does. Every once in a while you'll see him play an acoustic. I know he likes Martins. Every once in a while you'll see where he's playing a ES-35 Gibson. But he mainly is a Stratocaster guy. A lot of your old school guitarists, you know, it's just the way it is. If they like Gibson, then they're a Gibson guy. If they like Fenders, then they're a Fender dude. Hey, what's going on, Hunter? How you doing? Thanks for coming and joining us, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, everybody to their self, man. I mean, everybody to their own thing. There's guys that want to have a guitar, all different kinds of guitars, and they play all different kinds of guitars. And then I know a couple of guys that just have like 1 or 2 really nice guitars, you know, like electric guitars, and then that's what they play. And they don't try to go out and buy more guitars because they're happy with what they have, they're happy with what they play, and that's what they play. But yeah, I know, I really do think that I probably will forever be a Stratocaster, a Fender Stratocaster person. But they're put together different. You know, when you go to a guitar store and you see that they're priced anywhere from about $1,500 to about $4,000 to $5,000, you know that there's a big difference in those guitars that are more expensive. They got better pickups. They're better quality wood. And yeah, anyways, so that's what I got to say about that. I did. When I first started, I took my Taylor. And I never noticed it before, but it felt really big. After I did about probably 4 to 5 shows with my Taylor, by the time I got done with the show, hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got 2,000 subscribers. Yeah. But yeah, after I got done doing a show, well, honestly, probably about halfway through the show, the guitar felt like I was holding a small piano. I'm not lying, man. It just felt so big. And I said, man, I don't know. I feel so uncomfortable. This thing just feels so big. I never noticed it at home, but out here when I'm playing, you know, in front of people, it just feels huge. So I started using my Stratocaster. Um, thank you. Yeah, man, I reached 2,000 subscribers. So I started playing my Stratocaster, and then I never really noticed like how heavy it is. It's a heavy guitar, Stratocaster. It's a solid wood, man, and it to me it was heavy. And then the neck has like a real heavy, like a lacquer on the back of it. And when you're, see, I don't usually play at home until my hand gets sweaty. But when I was putting on a show, you know, probably the nerves, and then it was a little bit warm in there. My hand started sticking to the neck. I had to actually carry around powder, baby powder, and put baby powder on my hand before I started, so that my hand didn't get stuck. Because when you're moving like real fast, trying to change chords real fast, your hand don't want to go. It messes you up. It makes it hard to get to the chord fast enough. Okay, so check this out, guys. I did a little bit experiment. Yeah, I went in and I blocked some of those guys. I found some of those guys, some of those kids. You know, when we were doing our talking and everything last time, I took some screenshots of those guys that were, I think they were just kids, is what I think. But I found them. I went back later, and I went, you know, I went looking for them on YouTube, and I found a couple of them, and I blocked them. So yeah, but I'm just gonna ignore. From now on, if they come on here, I'm just gonna ignore them. I just, you know, when I see that they're saying something that is stupid or that I don't like, I just won't read anything that they say from them, you know. Oh yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I let it get to me. Um, I kind of let it get to me, and I lost my temper a couple of times. And I don't want to do that on here. You know, I'm a happy guy. I'm an easygoing person. I don't lose my temper too often. And you know, usually I'm just like real easy to get along with. Very talkative and very happy, outgoing, you know. But when people are saying like really nasty stuff to you, it kind of gets in your head after a while, man. You think like, wow, we really got some messed up people out there. You know, why would they want to pick on an old dude like me? Why, it, you know, why would that be something that you'd want to do? Um, there's like a million. There's got to be several million people on YouTube. Go bug someone else. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. One guy said that he was a farmer, and I said, "Shot, you might have a marijuana plant growing out in your backyard, but that don't make you a farmer, man. Sorry." But okay, well, we'll talk about something else. Hopefully, nobody will come in and act stupid. Um, but yeah, I already made up my mind. I'm just gonna ignore them. It does get to you after a while. I mean, it got one live stream that I done. I just put the iPad like around 10 feet away from me, and I just sat there and played around with my guitar. I didn't read anything that anybody wrote. I just, I just said, the heck with it, man. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to read nothing that nobody texts me. So that's what I did. I put the guitar over there and just did that. Um, Tomorrow I gotta mow the grass. It's getting to where it needs to be mowed again. And you seen that one where I was just playing with the guitar? Yeah, I just said the heck with it, man. Um, Oh yeah, I think it was you that said, "Why doesn't my electric guitar sound like that?" Was that you that wrote me that, or was that someone else? And I got to tell you, man, it's all part of learning. You know, yeah, I mowed the, I did mow the yard a few days ago. I did. It's like I have to mow it every week. And then the other night it rained real hard. It wasn't you, okay. Um, but yeah, it's rained a couple of times, and the grass grows fast around here. But I sprayed a bunch of stuff with weed killer. I had some grass that was growing up about like this high in the flower bed. That's weird with the camera, man. Okay, there you go. Anyways, the grass was up about maybe 6 inches in the flower bed. So I just sprayed it with weed killer. It's either that or you have to get in there and pull it out with your hands. And it's getting pretty hot out there now. It's getting where it's getting up in the 90s. So I just sprayed it with weed killer. And tomorrow I got to go out there and do it with the trimmer, the weed trimmer, because my neighbors, they go absolutely crazy on the 4th of July. And they will catch our yard on fire if I don't. What kind of grass grow in the backyard? I don't have any grass in the backyard. We, about 3 or 4 years ago, we took and put fabric over everything and then put mulch. So our backyard is mulch on one side and rocks on the other side. So we don't have any grass in the back. I'm not a big fan of grass. Hang on, guys. I'm going to find something for my wife to watch on TV here. She's playing a game on her iPad. But you know how it is. You want to get a little something, a little like noise in the background. Oh. This is a rerun, but I'll put it on. You guys watch that show, Shifting Gears? With Tim Allen? It's a decent show. It's all right. So anyways, yeah, what I'm going to do tomorrow when I do the yard, I'm going to put the iPad up on the porch and just do a little live streaming. Just whoever wants to watch me mow the yard, they can watch me. It's pretty interesting. I have an electric lawnmower with the cord, not with the battery, with the cord. So when I was about, let's see. Well, the first time I remember it, I think I was probably around 6 or 7. And then like the last time I remember seeing my great-grandfather, I was probably around 10. But that's the first time I seen. I just set up, man. I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna go to sleep if I keep leaning back like that. Let me see if I can get me a pillow up here. I'm old, guys. There we go. That's pretty cool. That's pretty good right there. So, I was about probably, well, as a kid. I was a kid, okay? I remember being a kid. My great-grandfather had a lawnmower that what it looked like was a lawnmower with a bucket upside down instead of a motor, instead of an engine. That's what his lawnmower looked like. And it was electric. So I remember he had a electric cord that he plugged in, and then he'd go out and he'd mow the grass. And I remember watching him a couple of times. And I remember thinking, when I get older, I'm going to get me an electric lawnmower because I think that's so cool. You don't have to put gas in it. You don't have to check the oil. You just plug it in and away you go. All right, that's cool. Well, don't get a haircut like mine, man. Don't get it so short. But that's cool, man. You're getting some haircut and some clothes for church. Praise God, buddy. God is good. God is good, man. You have God in your life, you'll have a good life. Doesn't mean you won't have problems, because everybody has problems. That's just part of life. But a lot of times when you have problems, it's God teaching you. God teaches you how to handle bigger problems later in life by having smaller problems now. Frankie, what do you want? You want to come say hi to everybody? Come on. Come here. Say hi to everybody. Look. Say hi to everybody. This is my Frankie. He's getting old. Say hi, I'm Frankie. I'm Frankie. I'm a pain in the butt. Yes, I'm a pain in the butt. All right, go with your mom now. Frankie's pretty cool. But he's kind of annoying when he wakes you up in the morning. Yeah, that's the thing about lawnmowers, man. When they're new, they start and they run real good. But after they get a little older, they don't want to start, and you're sitting there cranking it and cranking it and cranking it. Then you have to like work on it, take the gas line apart, clean out the air filter. It's like you're always working on that stupid lawnmower, and then you don't know if, like, it dies halfway through, and then you have to crank it and crank it and crank it. You're most likely going to be bald in a few years. I thought you were just a kid. Oh man, he said he's going to be bald in a few years. But I like my electric lawnmower. My neighbors in Colorado, they used to kind of laugh at me, and I said, I don't care, man. I don't care. You love. Even my neighbors here, the first time I mowed my yard, they're standing there watching me, and they're like, what is the heck, dude? Why don't you get a real lawnmower? I said, well, you mow your yard the way you want to mow your yard. I'll do my yard the way I want to do it. Yeah, your hair is falling out already? Oh my goodness. You better get you some of that. There's a lot of stuff on the market that you buy to keep your hair. Oh, your dad is bald already? Well, you got it's in your genes then. So, I don't know if that stuff that you buy, there's a lot of stuff nowadays that you can buy, for your hair. So, you might try some of it. Some of it might work. But anyways, I'm gonna put this iPad on the porch, and I'm gonna mow the yard, and I'm just gonna let it go so people can watch me mow the grass. And then I'll do the weed trimming. We planted a bunch of flowers in the front, and now we're kind of tired of the flowers. So the plan is to dig up all the flowers that are in the front and put in some bushes. Some of those bushes that make like a fence, we have them on one side of the yard, so we're going to put them in the front. When they get up about 3 feet tall, 3 or 4 feet tall, and you trim them real nice, they make a real nice looking fence. You think bald people are cool? I really, I just go with the flow, man. You know what I mean? I just go with the flow.
That make you look intelligent.
That makes you look smart?
Yeah.
Oh, my wife said being bald makes you look smart. I didn't know that. I'd seen a heavy set bald black woman on The Price is Right this morning, and I remember I seen her. I was practicing my guitar, and I looked up and I seen that, and I said, well, I don't look good at all, lady. But, hey, everybody to their own, man. Maybe she went bald for some reason. I don't know. People do get that where they have some kind of medical condition, you know, like that. What is that called, Marie? That Will Smith's wife has that, and then she has to wear a wig. I forget what they call it, but you probably know. You're a smart kid. But yeah, I just go with the flow. When I was probably about, I'm gonna say, I think I started when I was about 14, 15, 16, all the way up until I was probably around close to 20, 18 to 20. But when I was a teenager, I had hair probably about the middle of my back. And it was like I guess like no, not cancer. Not cancer, dude. It's a disease that you get on your head and all your hair falls out. But I don't remember what the name of it is. But yeah, not cancer. But I guess I probably had a mullet. Of course, they didn't call them mullets back in those days, but most of the boys, that's how we all had our hair. You either had it like where you comb it like this and feather it back, you know, and then long, or you just had like everything long, and then you just like part it like that. But anyways, yeah, I had long hair when I was a kid. I had earrings. Back in the 70s, it wasn't cool to wear earrings in both ears. You just wore it like in your, I think your left ear. Yeah. You could have like 2 earrings, but they were both in one ear. And so it wasn't cool back in those days to wear, for a man or a boy to wear 2 earrings. That wasn't very like hip. So anyways, yeah, my dad started telling me that, like, he'd say, I'm gonna get my scissors and cut your hair. I don't like that. And I said, no, why are you worried so much about my hair? I don't understand now. What's it got to do with you? I mean, you wear your hair the way you like to wear your hair. Mom wears her hair the way she likes to wear her hair. I should be able to wear my hair the way I like to wear my hair, and it shouldn't be a problem. But that's how it was back in the 70s. And then my dad said, okay, so if you want to wear long hair, that's okay, but don't put it in a ponytail. And I just ignored him. I never did put my hair in a ponytail anyways, but yeah. Okay, so are you still playing your drums? Are you still playing your drums in church? You know, it's kind of crazy. I always wanted to play drums, but
Mr. Parker, your daughter was like a legend.
when I was in school, in middle school, if you wanted to play the drums, you had to start out like on those little, you know what I'm talking about? You probably played those in school. I don't even remember what they call that.
I'm gonna get us some seats.
Crazy girl. What do they call those, man? The bells, or what do they call those?
Not sure that counts. Could you maybe fix me with Gil? You play this with Governor tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. That's good practice for you. So anyways, one thing is like almost all the boys wanted to play the drums.
Remember.
So there wasn't room for me. The other thing is, my grades weren't good enough. So, I never got a chance to play the drums. I had a good friend.
You really use a ruler. Your first teacher's sister, Helen.
No, they were like those little bells.
It's not
You know, ding, 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 ding. And you have little, little deals like they have little balls on the end of them. Kind of like a, well, I want to say like a xylophone, but I know that's not right. They're little deals that you hit like this,
Big news. We are changing the school
right?
The Minuteman was not.
They're usually like long, and when you hit it, it makes like a dong, 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 like that kind of deal. I don't remember what you call those things, man. But anyways, it don't matter because my grades weren't good enough. So, but I had a good friend. Hang on, let me check it out. What do drummers play to start with?
Sorry, we get a lot of old dads here.
Old dads, huh? How about 100 push-ups? You and me right here. Come on, girl.
Okay, nobody is doing.
Let me see what it says.
I just want to give you Carter's accommodations.
It's not gonna.
Don't tell sis what you're talking
It's not gonna say.
Some kids are different learners and they require customized teaching strategies to complete tasks.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they don't play them anymore. This was back in the 70s.
Thank you.
I do see them like though when if you go to like a concert where there's like a orchestra, they still use them.
This anxiety thing. Every generation has anxiety. We deal with
I'll see if I can find it and then we'll talk about it next time.
Nuclear arms race? No seatbelts?
The no seatbelt thing makes sense. We felt you had a better chance.
So I had a friend. Him and I were pretty good friends. We only lived little ways apart from each other.
Educational therapist back in
And we played around together when we were kids. We rode bikes and played frisbee and all that stuff. And when he got a little bit older, now his parents had money. His dad was an architect. They had plenty of money. So he took private lessons. And he was a very good drummer.
Are you just naming garbage pail kids?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah. I messed around with them a little bit at school, but I never did like learn how to play anything. But my friend, his parents had money, and he was taking private lessons, and he got to be a real good drummer. So they have battles of the band, or they used to, and he would play in the battle of the bands. He was in a band, right? And he was a fantastic drummer. We went to go watch him one time. Me and some other guys, we went to go watch him play. And they actually won the competition. I don't know if it was because of his drumming or not, but they actually won that night. So, funny story about that guy. I hadn't seen him probably since that night that we went to go watch him in that contest. I would say we were around 17-ish, around there, 16 or 17, when we went to go watch him play. When I was in my, I would say late 30s, I started kind of getting into Facebook. And I started finding people that I hadn't seen in years. So I got kind of curious. I said, well, I wonder what happened to that guy. I wonder if he, played for a band or, what he ended up doing for his life. So I found him. I didn't contact him. I didn't talk to him or anything like that. But I found him, and he went on to be a record producer. So I'm not for sure which company he worked for, but it was a well-known company, and I'm sure he made pretty good money. So yeah. There's a lot of work in the music business. And honestly, it's kind of like up to you to do it. Like, I got a couple of buddies that have been playing the guitar since they were kids. And I don't know if they just didn't have the right motivation, or they just couldn't get. A lot of people get it in their head that they can only be so good, and then that's what limits them. So don't limit yourself. You know, when that devil talks to you and tells you that you'll never be good enough to do this or that, you can get good but not as good as someone else, that's the devil talking to you. And when you accept that, when you let that into your mind and you let it, you know, like grow in your head, in your brain, then it will limit you. So don't do that. I mean, I know, right? I know in my head, I know at my age that I probably won't see. I even say probably because I'm leaving a little bit of room there. I probably won't. Hey, Josh, dude, what's going on, man? I've been missing you, brother. I figure you just been real busy. Well, you know, I'll be 63, so I still got plenty of time. But when you get a little older, it's harder to play fast, right? But anyways, I will not be as good as Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know, the guy was just, for one thing, there's not very many guitar players that'll ever be as good as Stevie Ray Vaughan. He was kind of a freak of nature. You know, he's just one of those guys that just, I don't know, man. It was something special, you know, about him. But I don't even limit myself on that, right? Yeah, Stevie was the man. If you sit and you watch some Stevie Ray Vaughan, like some videos of him playing, it'll kind of make you feel bad. You'll say, "Oh my God, I'll never be that good." Oh, well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that a lot. That makes me feel good. You know, when I started my YouTube page, one of the things that I had in mind is that I really wanted to inspire people to, and it wouldn't have to be a guitar. It would be like any instrument, but to get an instrument and start learning and start playing, and for people like, well, let's just say for people that have guitars that don't play with them anymore, you know, they kind of went on to something else in their life and the guitar just sits in the closet. Get it out, man. Right? Get it out. Change the strings. Get it tuned up. Let's get going, man. So, you know, it's all about practice, man. Hey, Josh, what you been doing, man? You been playing somewhere? I'm sorry, man. I wanted to see what Josh was doing before he goes away. He used to come and talk on my show all the time, and then he kind of disappeared. And I just kept thinking, you're probably real busy. But so here's the thing, kid, about this he's this guy over here, Josh, this guy here, he's kind of a younger, he's still in school, he's younger. And I'm trying to tell him it's all about how much you practice. And I kind of look at it like this. This is my gauge. I told a guy this one time. He just said, "Yeah, that made good sense." But this is my gauge on whether I'm practicing enough or not. If nobody's complaining about how much time you're spending practicing, then you're not practicing enough, right? If people start complaining, like let's say like your mom or your wife or your siblings, if someone starts saying like, "Man, I wish you'd just quit playing for a little bit. Leave that guitar alone. I just can't. I'm so tired of hearing you practice." Right? And then you're probably getting close to practicing enough. But until people start complaining, other people around you, you're not practicing enough. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. Let me read what this other guy read. Okay, that's cool, Sam. I hear what you're saying. You know, for me, I've always it'll come and go like in splurts. Like when it starts, I can feel it coming on, and then I can't get enough, and that usually will last a couple of months, and then it starts to decline a little bit. You know, I still always want to get my guitar every day, right? I never go a whole day without playing my guitar. Never. I mean, there was one time where I got real sick. I had a deal where my inner ear was off balance, and I couldn't set up. Every time I would set up, even just like to set up in bed, it made me dizzy, and I felt like I wanted to pass out. And I was in bed for a whole week. I had to call my doctor. Luckily, my doctor was cool enough to where he prescribed me some medicine, and I had him deliver the medicine, the pharmacy. I had him deliver the medicine to my house. And after a couple of days of taking that medicine, I was up again. But that's one of the things that I felt the worst about for the whole week that I laid in bed, is that I couldn't play my guitar. I actually did hold my guitar a few times and just kind of play around with the strings a little bit, you know. But I didn't feel like even doing nothing. That's how bad I was. And when I got that medicine, I got to feeling better. The first time I actually did get out of bed, I did get out of bed to go to the bathroom, but every time I did, I felt like I was either going to throw up or pass out. It was bad. It was real bad. But after I took the medicine for a couple of days, I got to feeling good enough to come out, you know, and sit on the couch. I felt like I had a stroke. And I never had a stroke, but I'm saying if you did have a stroke, I'm assuming that that's kind of what it would feel like. It took me a few days before I finally started getting normal and wanting to play my guitar and everything. But other than that, since the time that I started, I've always played my guitar every day, even if it's like 5 or 10 minutes. The guy that I used to buy my courses from, he would say, like, if you get in a day or a couple of days where you don't want to play, just pick it up and hold it. You know, don't plan on playing it, but pick it up and just hold it. And within a few minutes, you're gonna start, you know, doing something with the strings. You know, I would never tell somebody that learning how to play the guitar is easy. I was watching a guy on YouTube. I won't say his name, but he gives lessons on YouTube. And I don't know why he said this. He was trying to teach something. And he said, that you can do it. It's not a big deal. It's real easy. And it got to me. I said, how could you tell somebody? I mean, that's like anything, man. You know, when you learn how to do something, then it's easy. After you learn how to do it, it's easy. Okay, this guy had been playing guitar since he was a kid. He's probably in his 40s. He played professionally with different bands, toured, you know, around the world. So yeah, to him, it's easy. But to somebody that's trying to learn, and you tell them, you know, like, suck it up, dude, it's easy. It's not easy. There's not very much about playing a guitar that is easy until you learn how to play. I mean, yeah, when you learn how to do it, then it's pretty easy. But when you're trying to learn how to do it, it's not easy. It's actually very not easy. It's actually very, it can be very hard sometimes. Bar chords are hard, but you know, it's like I was telling you earlier, after you practice them for a while, it gets easier. So if you're learning the bar chords, my advice is don't focus so much on how they sound. That'll come with learning it. Just learn the bar chords. Do the best you can. Don't worry too much if they don't sound great, because that'll kind of drive you. That'll kind of make you not want to keep learning them, as if you're so worried about how they're sounding, because that will come with practice. Just learn the shapes. Try to learn how to go to those chords quick enough, you know, to go along with the music. And I'm going through the same thing right now. I've been playing 15 years, and I'm trying to add some new chords. So, and I don't want to get too much stuff on your plate to where you feel overwhelmed. But there's a thing called the cage system. All right, that's where all of your chords come from. It's that cage system. You know, the E shape, the A shape. But there's more to that. You know, there's a G shape, there's a C shape, there's a D shape. So those are all chords that you can learn. And I don't recommend that you worry about that at all right now. Just, you know, step by step. You don't want to take too much at a time. Just learn a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I mean? When you get that pretty good, then you can add something else. Work on that for a while till you feel comfortable with that, and then add something else. If you try to learn everything all at once, then it gets to where it's not fun anymore. So I have a saying in life that I tell people, and not just with music, but just in general in life. I tell people, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. So, same thing with the guitar, man. If you feel like you're not having fun, do something different. When I used to study, and when you take courses, you do study. There's homework in there, you know, like you have to work on certain things. The instructor will tell you, okay, I want you to practice this with the metronome at, you know, a certain speed, and I want you to practice this. And then there was even some where you had to like fill out the paper, like make your own chord progression, and then practice that chord progression. So you actually do study, and you actually do do work, like on paper and stuff that you read. And, but he would tell you, if you get to the point where, you know, you've had enough of that, just play some songs for a while. You know, do something fun for a day or two. Don't study for a day or two. And when you do study, make sure it's something that you want to learn. So if that might help you a little bit. I mean, it helped me a lot. Most of the time, though, I'm always looking forward to getting my guitar. I'm wanting to get it right now. I will be honest with you. When we get done right here, I do think that music theory is important. I do. At your stage, though, I mean, you probably learned some music theory in school and on the drums. I'm assuming that you play in school, right? So I'm sure you learn music theory at school, but they're probably going to teach you a bunch of stuff that you really don't need. So this guy that I was telling you about, he does have a course. It's called Guitar Theory. I think it's called Guitar Theory Made Easy, something like that. It's just this kind of theory that you will need for guitars. So if you're more interested in playing guitars and learning about the guitar theory, I would recommend that you get that course. You play in school, yeah. Well, you study, if you're playing in school, then they're teaching you theory, I'm pretty sure, right? Because I would think that, you know, I would think that in school they're probably teaching you how to read music. And if you're learning how to read music, then you're learning theory, because that's part of theory, is learning how to read music. But if you're just getting started on the guitar, what I really recommend is that you learn your open chords, and then start learning your bar chords. But with your open chords, find you some songs that only have maybe 3 chords or 4 chords. I mean, I know a lot of songs that only have 2 chords. And get to where you can play those songs. If you like to play them and sing along with them, do that. If you want to use the Moises app, I think you said you're already using the Moises app, then find you some songs that have just some open chords and play along with those songs. For now, I would just focus on that. And then if you do want to use, you know, learn a little music theory, just a little bit at a time for now. I really would just focus on getting to know that guitar. Just learn as much as you can about the guitar. You know, the what all the parts are called, how to care for the guitar, you know, what humidity to keep it, what to put on the fretboard, like the fretboard, if it's made out of rosewood or some other kind of wood, you want to keep it oiled. That's good. That's good. So yeah, that's where you want to start, man. When you get to where you can go from your chords good, learn your bar chords, and then learn them chords. Just keep adding all the time. Just adding all the time. The shapes that I'm working on right now are the C shape. Because you know how you have the C all the way up by the headstock, you know, your open C? Well, you can use that C shape all up and down the neck. So, and there's the one way you use it, you bar the with your finger here, Then you do the C shape and then you bar the rest. So I never really spent the time to learn how to do that. And now I have to go back and try to learn how to do that. Which I know how to do it and everything, but I can't do it. What happened? Oh, I was wondering, why you got the sprayer with you? What the heck? My wife come walking in with the yard sprayer. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? Well, at least she doesn't have the hose. I'd be freaking out if you had the hose with you. But yeah, man, just, you know, do your best. But here's something I'm gonna teach you. Oh, the guitar is a puzzle, but music too. Music, any instrument, the guitar, it's like a puzzle. You're trying to figure out how to put that puzzle together, or you're trying to how to work that puzzle. If anyone gets to the point where they don't want to play their instrument, this is what really gets me going. I go to YouTube and I watch a couple of videos of people playing. And usually after about the second video, I'm good, man. I gotta get to my guitar. Especially if I see them doing something that I say, oh, wow, that's how you do that. Man, I gotta go try that. I right away come and get my guitar and I start doing it. So, I don't know. I don't, you know, when I used to work, and I'd work until sometimes 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. And I'd come home, I was tired, I've been out working all day. I would usually take a shower and then eat some dinner. And it's so hard to try to make yourself want to practice. You're like, I gotta get some practice in. I haven't touched my guitar all day. And I'd just get my guitar and maybe practice for about a half an hour. And then I'd say, I'm so tired, I just can't do it. I just don't feel like doing it. Yeah, that's how I am. But it does, when you're working all day, you're going to school all day, and you come home and you're just tired, sometimes you just don't feel like it. And that's okay, you know, I mean, but since I retired, I don't work anymore. I like to just practice all day. I don't know, man. You know, I tell myself, just keep doing it. When you just feel like you're blessed when you wake up, and right away that comes to your mind is get up, you know, get some coffee, get your guitar. I feel like that's a blessing that my mind works that way, because you never know when that feeling might go away. I don't think it will for me. I don't think it ever will go away, honestly, because I'm severely addicted to my guitars. But I've seen it happen with other guys. Like I told you before, I was in business for 20 years where I went to people's houses. And I can tell you a lot of times that I went to someone's house and they had a guitar. And I started asking them about the guitar. And it's hard to believe when someone told me that they used to play in a band, but they don't mess with their guitar anymore. They just sit there. It's hard to believe them, that they were ever good enough to play in a band. But it's possible. I mean, I don't see it myself. You know, how could you be good enough to play in a band and then, like, now you don't even remember how to play any chords at all? You know, that, to me, that don't add up. Heartbreaking to hear that. Hey, check this out. I've had several people comment in my videos that because of me, they started playing their guitar again. So that's cool. I mean, that makes me feel great. And I've been putting up videos for a year and a half now. And I've honestly had several people tell me that I motivated them enough that they got their guitars out, that they haven't played in years, that they've got them out and started playing again. So, woohoo! That's great, man. That's what it's all about right there. I had a guy in the nursing home one time. I didn't realize at the time that he had more of a mental problem than I knew he had. You couldn't really tell at first. But he knew. Cool, man. I'm really happy to hear that, buddy. You just keep practicing. I promise you, I will give you my promise that if you keep practicing, you will get good. But it's all in how much you practice. It's all in how much you want to spend with that instrument. Okay, learn as much as you can, practice as much as you can, and I promise you, you will get good. Now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, crap. Oh, man. I think I partied too much when I was younger. Anyways. Yeah, I kind of forgot what I was saying, but oh well. We'll worry about that later. The guy that I used to buy my courses from, he used to say, nobody got worse by practicing. Something about a nursing home. Oh yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So this guy, he was probably, I'd guess him in his late 40s or early 50s. Wasn't that old. And he knew about the guitar. When I got done playing, he was asking me questions like, why do you play up at the top of the neck a lot? Why do you use the open chords a lot? Well, I was playing with my Taylor, my acoustic, and I was explaining to him that on that guitar, on the bar chords, once you get past like the 7th fret, it's real hard to get a big sound out of those chords. So you get the bigger sounds out of your open chords, you know, because you're up, you know, they call it down. You're down, you know, towards the headstock. And I thought, wow, this guy knows a little bit about guitars to be asking me that. So I said, so do you know how to play the guitar or what's going on? And he said, I do know some chords. And I said, well, if you had a guitar, you know, you're in a nursing home, right? You're not going to go anywhere. It'd give you something to do. And he said, yeah, I'd love to have a guitar, but I don't have no money, and I don't have no family around here. So therefore, I don't have a guitar. One of the women that works in there said, I have a guitar at home. I'll bring it to him, and maybe you could come in and show him some things on the guitar. And I said, I'd love to. I'd do that. Yeah, for sure. So about a month later, I went in there, and the guy remembered me, and I asked him, did that lady ever bring you a guitar? And he said, no one ever brought me a guitar. Okay, the only guitar that I have that I would consider selling or giving to somebody is an electric guitar that you would have to use an amplifier. And I was going to take it to him, but right in the middle of our conversation, he just gets up and walks off. I'm like, what the heck, dude? I came in here to visit with you, and he just gets up and he goes, I gotta go eat, and he just left. And I said, well, that's a little weird that he just did that. So I took it a couple of steps further. I asked one of the women in there that if they thought he would be allowed, and she said, no, don't do it. Don't bring it in here. No, don't, please don't. Because, you'd have to play with an amplifier. And I'm assuming that he would probably disturb the other people. So I never went back. I don't know. I mean, the way he acted the second time that I went in, he's got something not quite right. And I don't know if it would be worth it to do that. I don't know. It's something that I just kind of blew off. So I never went back to that nursing home either. It was more like, it was more of a nut house than it was for elderly people. There were several guys in there that weren't that old. And yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't know. If I really thought that the guy was going to learn, if I really thought that he was going to play the guitar, I would probably go out and find a cheap acoustic guitar and buy it and take it out there to him. That's the kind of person I am. If I really thought that it would help his life, and it'd give him something to do and he'd really do it, I'd honestly go out there. It's about probably 20, 30 miles away from where I live. But I honestly would go out there once a month and work with him. But I think in the long run, it would be a waste of time. I think he's got more going on up there than what I thought he did. All right. What's your name, man? What is your first name? I'm looking in here and I don't see. Tell me what your name is, kid. Or sir. So I know what to call you. And then I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to play my guitar just a little bit. Oh, Mike. Okay. No, not Mike. How do you pronounce that? Huh. I thought you said your name was Mike. I gotta take a screenshot, man. I'm gonna learn how to pronounce that. I never seen that. Oh, just like Jason. So is that how you say it? Is it Jason? Is that the right way to pronounce it? But it's just spelled different? Because I never seen it spelled like that before. Do people call you Jay? Okay. Do people call you Jay or is it Jason? I used to have a neighbor named Jason. We got to be pretty good friends. Okay. That's cool, buddy. I will call you Jason. So, Jason, I'm going to get out of here, man. Pronounce it right. Okay, cool. All right, Jason. So just keep practicing those bar chords. Do me a favor. If you get time, go to YouTube and watch a video on the Cage system. I'm not saying to try to learn it, but I'm saying watch a video on it so you see what it is. Yeah. Well, Jason ain't hard to pronounce, dude. Like I said, I had a neighbor named Jason, and we were neighbors. We got to talking out in the yard a couple of times, And then I ran into him at the bar a couple of times. And so we started getting together and doing some drinking and partying. We were we were probably in our 30s, both of us. He was a little younger than I was, but we're still friends. I haven't talked to him since I moved to Kansas, but I know if I called him today, he'd talk to me for a couple hours. Yeah, watch a video on the cage system. What I want you to see is how the open cords work into this cage system. So it's something that you probably want to learn a little bit more about it later. All right, Jason, and everybody else that's in here, there's 4 people. We didn't have no idiots tonight. Woohoo! That's cool, man. Hey, Jason, there's a guy that makes videos. He travels around the world, and he makes videos. Have you seen him? Kurt Kaz? Did I ask you that last time? It kind of seems like I asked you that last time. I watch his videos at night, and all right, sounds good, buddy. But if you get a chance, watch some of that guy's videos where he's like in India. Oh my God, that's crazy over there, man. All the people and all the traffic and everybody's riding little motorcycles. It's nuts. All right. I think so. You think you've seen them? It's interesting to see how they live in other countries. And he shows them like one of his things is he gets haircuts everywhere he goes. He gets a haircut. And he likes to get massages and haircuts. And then he eats all kinds of stuff that he finds out on the street. Like, and some of those cities, like in Brazil and India, they all have like things like markets out on the street where you can buy all kinds of stuff. So he's always drinking beer and eating all kinds of weird stuff. And anyways, man, it's really interesting to watch how they do it in the other countries. All right, man, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching me, Jason. Keep practicing, and I will see you Friday night. Yeah, you've seen it on the markets. You've seen them? Yeah. Yeah, he's got a good thing going on though, man, but I bet it costs a fortune to go to all those countries. I bet you that costs a little bit of money. And they're always telling them, like, be careful, man. Put down the camera. People are going to rob you. Okay. Thanks for watching me, buddy. I will talk to you later. Go practice.